So I've basically lost count on how much I've emphasized on the build-up of Manchester United. We have spoken a lot about so many players that have chosen other clubs: Matheus Fernandes, Sandro Tonali, Elliot Anderson, Joao Gomez. Here on Tactical Trafford, we have been able to talk about a lot of midfielders, talk about Manchester United rebuild, and these players have actually gone to another club. And of course, you know that Manchester United needs three midfielders in this transfer window. Manchester United has already gotten two, Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos, and Manchester United definitely needs three, because it is not enough to get two new midfielders when Manchester United are going to be actively participating in four competitions. So of course, the players to compete in this competition, and who is going to be the missing piece for Manchester United is Carlos Baleba going to be the missing piece for Manchester United. So let's get this video started. So of course, Manchester United have been having Carlos Baleba in their list since last year. Manchester United wanted to get Carlos Baleba last year, but Brighton actually refused and spiked his transfer fee. But this summer, Manchester United have been able to miss out on their targets in the defensive midfield position, and so Manchester United definitely needs to get a defensive midfielder, because of course Manchester United now has Andre Santos, we now have Yuri Tillemans, we also have the very excellent, fantastic Kobe Mino also in our team, but we still need somebody that is going to complement these players, because many Manchester United fans and many fans all over the world feel that Manchester United wants to get Carlos Baleba because of his ability to win duels, because of his defensive actions. But I definitely feel that there is more to Carlos Baleba than just winning duels and just being very actively defensively. Carlos Baleba brings something that is different for Manchester United, because whilst our midfield rebuild is ongoing, you're going to find out that the three players we have currently in the number 8 position are sort of players that like to play more on the left hand side, because if you look at the defensive action of Kobe Mino, you're going to find out that his defensive action is more on the left hand side. If you also look at the defensive action of Yuri Tillemans, his defensive action is more on the left hand side. If you also look at the defensive action of Andre Santos, his defensive action is not really that on the left hand side, but it is more versatile, more higher, but more on the left hand side. So that is why we need Carlos Baleba, because in as much as he's very good in grand duels, he's very mobile, very athletic, he has a very good recovery piece, and is somebody that is going to constantly provide legs for us in the midfield. We also need a balance, because in as much as we need defensive abilities, we need technicality, we also need a balance. And Carlos Baleba, if you look at his defensive action from last season, you're going to find out that he was more defensively active on the right hand side. That tells you that Carlos Baleba is going to sort of bring this balance to us. He's going to be more active on the right hand side, and is somebody that is going to create this balance that we so crave at Manchester United. So with Carlos Baleba, Manchester United is going to elevate their level, because he brings a lot to the team. So let's try to sort of analyze all the characteristics that Baleba is going to bring at Manchester United, both in the first phase, the second phase, and the final phase. So looking at the defensive action of Carlos Baleba, you're going to find out that he's somebody that wins the ball higher up the pitch. So he's a very high pressing player. He's not the player that wins the ball a little bit further in the second phase. Somebody that likes to win the ball. He likes somebody that likes to press higher up the pitch and try to win the ball as much as possible. And if you're playing in a counter-attacking side like Manchester United that is very dangerous in the counter-attack, of course having a player like Baleba is very instrumental, because he's somebody that is going to constantly be on the front foot, be ready to press and win the ball as much as possible. And also you couldn't ignore his defensive action, because his defensive actions from last season is absolutely fantastic. Majority of his defensive action is in the 90 percentile and above. Also, if you also look at his recovery last season, he had 105 recoveries last season, and this sort of tells you that this is the kind of player we need at Manchester United, because we sort of need a kind of busybody in our team. We need somebody that sort of knows everything, somebody that sort of kinds of be everywhere on the pitch, somebody that can be everywhere at every time. So this is somebody that I don't know why lots of Manchester United fans don't really trust in Baleba, because he had a bad season, but he's somebody that I know that coming to Manchester United is going to absolutely change the course of our season, because I'm that kind of person that, of course, I like technical players in our team. We need a lot of technical players in our team, of course, if you want to succeed in the Premier League or any other league. But sometimes you need bullies in your team. If you look at the top 6 teams or the top 5 teams, excluding Manchester United in the Premier League, they at least have a bully in their team, somebody that has this engine, somebody that has this energy to constantly win the ball back. And also, one of the characteristics I like about Baleba is his ability to destroy move or to kill move before it even starts. He's somebody that doesn't wait for a move to set off. It's either he presses you and win the ball back as possible, as much as possible, or it's somebody that before you even move with the ball, he has already attacked you and collected the ball. It's somebody that you could also realize that in Manchester United, we have a lot of players that are very bad in defending large spaces. Martinez is not good in defending large spaces. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Dalot, these are players that are very bad in defending large spaces. And so you need a midfielder that can be able to kill off move before it even starts, because Carlos Baleba is a very good game reader and is a very good anticipator. He's somebody that already knows the move of the opposition. So instead of trying to wait for the opposition to sort of carry out the action and try to react, it's somebody that reacts even before the opposition tries to think. So it's somebody that even thinks for the opposition. So before you even try to attack Manchester United, try to move past large spaces, is somebody that is already ready to pounce on you and win the ball back as much as possible. And that is why we need Carlos Baleba at the football club. And despite the fact that a lot of Manchester United players they prefer playing on the left hand side, majority of their defensive action comes in the left hand side. You're also going to find out that if you look at the heat map of Kobbie Mainoo, Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos, you're also going to find out that majority of their most threatening action comes down in the left hand side. That means they are very, very dangerous on the left hand side and not on the right hand side. So if you also look at the heat map of Carlos Baleba, you're going to find out that most of his threatening moments comes on the right hand side, and it's somebody that is a bit of everywhere, not just at the right hand side but at the left and at the middle. So anything that concerns covering the midfield, anything that concerns dominating in the midfield, that is the job of Carlos Baleba. And also one of the lies that Manchester United fans sees is that Carlos Baleba is good defensively and he's not good on the ball. Manchester United, the three central midfielders we have so far are very good players in terms of passing, dominating possession, but they are not good ball carriers. And it's going to be diabolical to go into this Premier League season without a good ball carrier. Every team in the Premier League, every big team in the Premier League has a very good ball carrier. With Arsenal, you have Declan Rice. Tottenham, they also have Matheus Fernandes and Sandro Tonali that are very good ball carriers. Manchester City has Elliot Anderson that is good in carrying. But Baleba, he has a very satisfying way of carrying the ball that I love so much. He's somebody that with just one burst of pace, he could cover 8 to 10 years in terms of carrying the ball. So having somebody that Baleba that can be very good in carrying the ball is very important, especially in counter-attacking situations. He's somebody that could actually receive the ball, and in as much as having a good passing range is very good for players, trying to break down the opposition team with good passing range, like Casemiro would do, like also Telemans would do recently for Manchester United. We also need a very good ball carrier, and with Carlos Baleba, both in the first phase, both in receiving in the first phase with his back to goal, both in the second phase in terms of carrying the ball, being very proactive, winning the ball, being a very good game reader, anticipator, trying to kill off moves, Carlos Baleba is somebody that is going to complement the current central midfielders that we have right now at Manchester United. So I want you guys to quickly give me your thoughts on the comment section on if Manchester United to go for Carlos Baleba. I want you guys to kindly like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford. See you guys in my next video. Ciao.